Good morning. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Hello. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Come in, tap that subscribe, tap that follow. I want you to go ahead, give me a thumbs up if you're over on YouTube. Also, make sure you tap them reactions. If you like what I'm saying, give me a heart. If you think it's funny, go on and tap that laughing emoji. And if you don't like what I'm saying, go on and hit the angry face. That's all right. It's all right. But make sure y'all go ahead and share me out. I'm finna share me out. Good morning. How y'all doing back at work today, baby, on this Monday? Or Tuesday, I mean, it's Tuesday. We was off yesterday. Yesterday was a holiday. We'll be back today for our regular program. I'm live on over there. I done checked it out. But did y'all enjoy y'all long weekend? Yep, that's the way. All right. Ain't nobody in the chat. So this is started. We gonna get started. Let me put my comments up so I can see it. Oh, good morning, sis. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry you were sick. Been made for a long, long weekend, don't it? When you get that extra day and then you be sick, that be terrible. I'm so glad you feeling better, but good Lord. Listen, why you couldn't get sick during the weekdays? Right? That's how I be feeling. I be like, listen here, body. I need you to act right when I need you to. If you want to be tired, you're going to have to be tired when we ain't got shit to do. Good morning, Obage. Good morning, sis. How you doing? You back home? What? You was catching flights. I see you. Exactly, sis. Got sick time. Let them pay me to be home. Don't be sick on the weekend. What the hell? You was sick on the weekend. Out of order, people. Out of order. Oh, okay. I'm glad you back too, child. That cold air get in, you'll be stuck where you at. You know they don't fly when it be freezing. They be a little different about them flights on them days. So y'all, listen, what y'all been doing this morning? Ooh. Yeah. I got it in this morning, baby. I done cleaned the bathroom. I done been to the gym and got on the stair climber. I did the stair climber. Then I always do the ab and adduction leg machines. Yes, because this cold air ain't playing with nobody, baby. It's coming all the way in, baby. It's here in Florida. How this cold air here in Florida, y'all? But it's cold over here, baby. They talking about canceling school tomorrow. Y'all know if it get below 30, they probably gonna close everything down. People scared of the ice. Oh Lord, I cleaned the bathroom. Y'all know I was down last week because I had took my biologic last Saturday. Saturday was a week ago. So last week, baby, listen, that week after I take it, last time it was 2 weeks. So I'll take a week. But last time I was down for that week, when I was down that week, baby, I don't do nothing. I tell you nothing. So I had to get, baby, I better lose my darn mind about my bathroom. I can't stand no dirty bathroom. Listen here. I am that person that when I come to your house, I be looking at the bottom of your toilets to see if you clean or not. That's the best way to tell if folks really is clean or if they just kind of clean. If the base of somebody's toilet clean, they pretty clean. Because that's the bottom, that's the part of the toilet everybody don't clean. Y'all, I ain't lying. Y'all, forget lifting up the seat. The bottom of the toilet, right there at the floor, if it look a little brown there, if it look a little tan under there, they is not clean, baby. They just wipe stuff down. Clean bathroom. It took me a hot bath to unthaw. I know you were freezing. Oh, yes. I'm the same way. See, when I travel, I clean the house before I go. Because I know when I come back, I am not a do laundry on vacation type of helper. So, baby, I'm not finna do it. So when I come back, I'm going to have all that laundry to do. Then I got to put up stuff. Hello, Nicole. Welcome in. Hey, Adam. Then, baby, so I'm not coming home to a dirty house too. I always clean up before I go. Oh, I can't stand to come back, baby. I can't stand this. I be cleaning up. Ooh, wee. You anemic too. Good Lord. Wee. Yeah, I know you was cold. I'm sorry. But so, okay, y'all. Listen, I know y'all probably thought we were going to talk about yesterday, but I ain't talking about yesterday. Because the truth is, listen, we got 4 years. Let go. This just what it is, baby. You ain't got to like the boss, but the boss is still the boss, right? You ain't got to like the way the boss handles things. You ain't got to like the way the boss, and that's the way, in my mind, I've always looked at the commander-in-chief. No matter who it is, I don't got to like it. I remember in 1996 when they held our pay for one time, because when Clint was in office. Yeah, it be some stuff you got to deal with, but listen, the boss is the boss, and all we can do is do what the boss say. We really ain't got no other option. So the best thing, I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do. People think I'm joking, and I've been saying this since the election November. I'm finna sit down in the corner and mind my business for the next 4 years. I'm gonna take the next 4 years to work solely on April. Cause baby, I'm not finna bother with nothing else. I'm gonna be right here in my little corner, chilling. Cause baby, it's finna be some turbulence. And the facts of the situation are some shit you're gonna agree with, some shit you ain't. It just what it is. You can't change it, you can't do nothing about it. It just is what it is. All you can do is sit down and maintain your own peace and your own stability to the best of your ability. That's it. But we're not gonna talk about it because he gonna do what he gonna do, baby. And some of them executive orders he's signing go against the Constitution. So I don't know how that's gonna go. So I'm not finna argue and talk about it, and I don't know. So today, what I want to talk about, y'all, is something that really is affecting, I think, a lot of adults right now. And that is a lot of us grew up being told that not to go, that you don't need a therapist, all of these stigmas around therapy, right? So we didn't go, we just learned what we learned, even if it was wrong, and that's what we began to implement and put in place. But now as adults, and in the time we living in right now today, we're in a place where we are starting to go to therapy. We're starting to see the benefits. Hi, Pacquiao, Pacquiao dip. Well, hello, welcome in, Chad. Ooh, we. Can you enunciate your name in the comments so I could say it right? I can't stand the name I can't say right. Anyway, so we are beginning to go, right? And there are adults who are going, who are finding out that they suffer from depression, anxiety. I'm not even talking about the big things, like you may be diagnosed with adult autism. There are adults being diagnosed with autism that were never diagnosed as children because it wasn't something that we looked at. It wasn't something, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look back now, I know I talked to some of my friends about this. I look back now, there was really some people that I went to school with that had some real issues that they just said, oh, they just bad. They just kids. They just don't listen. They just don't. And it might have been more than just that, right? Just defiance. But as an adult, you go and you begin to heal, right? So this is where we're at with the conversation for today. As an adult, you're healing, you're on your journey, so you go to therapy. Well, at therapy, you may get these diagnoses: anxiety, maybe you have ADHD type 1, ADHD type 2, or ADHD combined, where you have a little of both. Maybe you have panic attacks. Maybe they do give you a diagnosis of bipolar 1, bipolar 2. Maybe they say you borderline schizophrenia. All of these different diagnoses, right, that you could be hearing. How do you talk to your children about these things? Hi, Abraham. How are you? How do you talk to your children about these things? Because let's be clear, acting like these things aren't going on at home is not fair to anyone in your family. You have to explain it to them so that they understand the work you're doing and the why. Hello, Henry. How you doing? So I want to talk about, how do you talk to your kids or your family? Because listen, there are spouses, significant others out here getting these diagnoses. How do you tell your spouse? Listen, I know you thought you go to your spouse, right? Because good morning, Jennifer. How you doing? I'm here. It was the weekend. You know I don't work weekends. I conformed. I don't work weekends. But good morning, Jennifer. So they tell you this. Once you find out what you're dealing with, you have to explain to them, I'm not just an asshole. Or listen, I know when we go out, I get I have social anxiety. And maybe it's been that way your whole relationship, and that's been an area of contention because maybe one of you are a social butterfly and need that interaction, and the other, it just is not a good. If you have social anxiety, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're talking about as adults, and we began to go to therapy, and we began to work through things that we're dealing with. How do we handle that with our family and our children? There are people out here who do, first of all, some of these things are genetic and they can pass on. There is familial history in a lot of these things. So maybe it's not genetics per se, but a lot of times if you have anxiety or bipolar, it may go in, your children could have those same issues. If you have ADHD, your children could have ADHD. So it is possible, right? So as you learn more about yourself and what you're dealing with, and as you're working through these things, you have to be honest with those around you that you love and that love you. So that includes your children. We as adults and as parents do our children an injustice when we let them think everything is perfect, everything is okay, everything is, because what happens in that, hello Naeva, how you doing, queen? Everything, because what's going to happen is, because of your behaviors and because your child doesn't understand why, that is going to be a behavior that your child is going to learn and mimic, because that's what kids do. So we have to, I'm looking at my notes, we have to be honest with them. We have to tell them, listen, I deal with blah. Okay, listen, I am bipolar. I have anxiety. So when you get upset, this is what you're saying to your child. See, this is a way you could talk to them. Listen, I've been going to the doctor. I have anxiety and I'm working through it. But this behavior of yours is triggering for me. What you're doing in that is you're allowing your child. Now, I'm not talking about if your child 5 now. I'm talking about if your child is able to comprehend and understand, then you could talk to them. You could talk to a child about anything as long as you talk to them appropriately. Children are not, they can learn, they understand, they sponges. So as you go in and as you are talking to them, you have to explain to them. So next time, maybe y'all are somewhere and you have an anxiety attack. Your kids are aware. You don't have to yell and be snappy and be mean to them, because listen, we at the playground. We don't understand why all of a sudden mom is screaming at us. We have to go right now. It's such a hurry. We were just having a good time. So they're children. They can't transition like that when they don't have any knowledge or understanding. Remember, adults are just little people. They are us. They just smaller. They're just absorbing. They're learning. So you have to tell them what is going on with you so that they understand you. You are your child's first line of defense in everything. Also, as an adult, as we go to therapy and we work through things that we used to think were okay, we learn that ain't okay. Why are you behaving that way? Why those learned behaviors have to be unlearned because they're not healthy. They're not healthy. So we have to do things different because we want different and better results for our children. If you deal with depression, you should talk to your children about that. You should explain to them why sometimes, baby, mommy just can't, not today. Or they need to understand when you're just pushing through because of them. Because it's in those moments when we are stretching ourselves the most that we snap that we are so easily bothered by noise, so easily bothered by why you can't just sit down somewhere. It's because we ourselves are stretched. But if you're honest and communicating with your children the same way you tell them to communicate with you, right? You have to show them for them to learn. Then they can say, oh, mommy's having a bad day. They can say, oh, mommy needs a minute. And I'm saying mommy because I'm a mommy. Okay. You could be a daddy too, and this be going on. So, chat, Tom, you go get blocked. Please go find somewhere to go. No, I cannot help you. Go over to Kendra G. Kendra, Kendra G. She has a dating thing. Go over to her page, Tom. Tom, no, we're not being bothered over here. I can't find you nothing. I don't know nobody. Good morning, good food. How are you doing? Hey. Oh, y'all have fun. I love the snow. Y'all have fun. Ooh, I love it. Y'all have fun. If we had some good snow here, I'd be out there playing in it too. Hello. Now, you know, Jennifer, ain't nobody but Portia and Phaedra and them going over there getting the rich Nigerians. If they over here talking about they looking for a wife, they ain't got no money. Jennifer, stop it. Peaches said, hey, good food. Jennifer laughing at me. Child, Jennifer, you got to learn what tree to bark on. Baby, I see dogs pee on trees. I ain't, child, I ain't no fool. So back to what we talking about. So let me tell y'all what brought this to my mind and why I brought this subject, what brought this topic to my brain. So I was watching Brilliant Minds. Y'all watch Brilliant Minds? It's an amazing show. It's on I don't know where it's at. I watch it on Peacock though. And one of the residents, it's a medical show, y'all. But one of the residents has a issue, a diagnosis, and he's never told his child or his child's mother. They are not together anymore, but the child is like 7, 8. I mean, he older. He in elementary school, but he older. But sometimes the dad, what it is, he can feel like what someone else is going through or their feelings, their emotions, right? He actually like takes it on. So like, it's like he's going through it himself. And so he had snapped at his son and told his son was throwing a tantrum. He should have reached behind that seat and popped his leg, but he didn't. He just yelled at him and told him to stop, right? What the little boy told the mama, and the mama was like, you not gonna talk. Okay, hold on, y'all. Y'all know I got to. Tom, bye. Tom is gone, y'all. Tom is gone. I had to stop talking to pay attention to block it because y'all know I blocked the wrong people on Instagram. Now, y'all know, anybody welcome over here. I love everybody, and we welcome. We can talk about anything over here. Baby, you're not finna come over here and harass us. We will not be harassed over here. Ooh, she on YouTube, Jennifer. She on YouTube, Jennifer. So, and that's where good food at too. But so the mom was, Jennifer said, good morning, sis. So the mom was upset with him for yelling at the son, right? And so she didn't know either. So later on in the episode, he set them down to tell them. Peaches said, you know where she at, Jennifer. And good morning, love. So he was sitting down to tell them, see, when it's something like that that affects your life, you have to be honest about it. And listen, we shouldn't be ashamed about it, because you would be surprised. Now, something like what he did with is that's not doesn't happen often. But listen, there's a lot of people who suffer from anxiety, who have depression, who have these different things, not these big diagnoses, just these side diagnoses, right? The smaller of the list, right? Which, listen, there's nothing small about depression or anxiety at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have anxiety, depression, these things that a lot of people suffer with these things silently. Silently. They don't even know that they don't even understand what's going on with them. So they just suffer through. They just make it go. But hear me. You ain't got to tell nobody else. But the people in your home, your significant other, your children, they are owed understanding. And a understanding. They are owed to know what you're dealing with, what you're going through, so that they don't take it personal. They don't feel like it's them. They don't feel like, so sometimes some of those things, some of those thoughts we put in our own children because of how we parent. So, personal example, y'all know I like to talk from my perspective, from my life, like my experience, right? So, y'all know BSB has I have sexual PTSD. I have PTSD from childhood PTSD from the assaults and things I went through as a kid, right? But my husband, hey love, we see you peeping. Brown Sugar Bear has combat PTSD. Severe. Severe. We've came a long way. But I remember when he first came back from Afghanistan in 2014, 13, 14 when he came back. The last deployment, it was 2014. BSB has 9 deployments between Iraq and Afghanistan on the ground with the Marines. So he has seen a lot, to say the least. But when he first came back, I remember he was on leave when he got back, and he was sitting at the dining room table. And in the house, in our home in North Carolina, we had a big sliding door in the kitchen, and it sat right behind, like the dining room table was in front of that sliding door. And he was he fell asleep at his laptop at the table. It's not uncommon when they come back and stuff, it's a lot. So he was asleep at the table. Well, Summer thought she was going to be funny and do some rabbit ears and get a picture, wanted me to take a picture of her behind her daddy with rabbit ears on him sleep, right? He'd been gone for months. We just enjoying him being home. Well, listen. Let me get a sip of coffee. Well, BSB he ain't moving nothing, but he came up with a full swing, fist closed, because all he sensed was somebody behind him, and because he fell asleep, he didn't know where he was or who was behind him. Thank God Summer could move fast and pay attention. She ducked and moved, and it wasn't until he seen her come back up that he realized. I don't think he even realized until then that he was home. So we could have made the choice. We have our daughter Kyra. One time, her and her daddy, you know how the teenage girls be. She got to run in her mouth, and before we knew it, baby, her daddy was in the room. Like, he just kind of snapped. That was one of them times he had just got back from Iraq. And so we didn't have, well, we could have. Listen, it's not we didn't have a choice. I don't want to say that. That's what I almost said. That's a lie. Because listen, I'm an adult. I always got a choice. You understand? But we had to talk to them about it. We had to tell them, because if we didn't explain it to them, then they would take personally what was going on with their dad. Me, Nora Brown Sugar Bear can be woke up out our sleep. It's like that. I swear our children be trying to decide who gonna wake us up. So it's a rule. If I'm asleep or BSB sleep, don't wake us up, because we may wake up engaged, ready to get it going. So our children, we have never sat, or BSB has never sat with them and talked to them in detail about the things he's seen or experienced, right? Because listen, he doesn't do that. I know we talk, his therapists know, his psychiatrists, like the people that need to know, but he doesn't really talk about it like that with them. However, they had to understand the why. My kids know why mommy doesn't get in the bathtub or the hot tub. They understand why I don't like to sit in water, still like a tub of a bucket of water. They understand. I have to explain to them why certain things. There are certain things that are triggering for me from my childhood that I do not do. I just don't. I have to explain that to them so they understand. Because not every child in the world can't go wake their parent up from their sleep because they concerned the parent gonna come up swinging. You gotta explain those type of things. You can't just be out here just snapping off, and your kids and your spouse don't understand what you going through, the why. Because guess what's going to happen? They're going to begin to blame themselves. They're going to think it's them. They're going to think you have an issue with them. They're going to begin to associate your behavior with their behaviors. It's what happens. So we have to be honest with our children about ourselves. That's how you give them the best of you. That's how you gain their trust. That's how you teach them how to communicate effectively. We have to, as parents, get away from it ain't their business, they kids. Baby, listen, if they living in that house and they are going through with you, they got a right to know. And there's always an age appropriate way to explain just about anything. Good Food said I had to come back. It was too cold outside. Hey, I know it is cold out there, baby. It's 30 something here in Florida, so I know it's cold up there. Yeah, Lord, it's cold. Love and Peach are giving each other the eyes. They looking at each other. Love said, my dad was in the military. He was in Vietnam. Okay. And he was the man that carried the bombs on his back. Wow. My dad never told me all the stories, but my husband told me. And it was really horrible. And I never knew it all. My dad never explained it. And see, I'm going to tell you, love, I'm so sorry. But you know what? To know that your dad, just because we know a little bit of stuff about you, you know, your history, your childhood things, even in all of his own turmoil, his own battles, his own anger in his own mind, even after your mother passed, he said, I got to do what I got to do for my baby. Now, it wasn't perfect, right? But he still said, that's my baby. And that's what they do, a lot of them. Peaches said, wow, at love. It's a thing with BSB. He don't talk, right, at all. Like, the kids call me and be like, I've been calling daddy and he ain't answer his phone. Or, you know, and it's not because he doesn't love them. It's not because he really just tries so hard to just be the best version of himself. And it's a lot because there's so many layers to what he has to do just to get outside of himself. And our children, especially our daughters, now it's a little different with their daddy because now they're older. You know, 2 of our daughters are married, so they, you know, they're definitely older and have children and things. But they used to be like, why, right? Like, because daddy can go with the boys and they can go work out, they can go lift weights. Daddy can go with the boys and they can just go, because boys don't need what girls need from their daddy. And the truth was, BSB could not give them what they needed because he wasn't he was dealing with his own demons. And you got to explain it. You got to tell them. Because if not, they may, if we had not have been honest with them, would there be a relationship for him to have with them today? Because when I tell y'all, listen, when BSB snap off, let me tell y'all something. He has had a flashback while we driving. BSB used to see stuff in the road when we would be driving. Like IED, like stuff. Like, don't let there be a box or something fell off a car in the road. He would flip the car to miss it. There's things that he has no control over. And so we all had to learn those moments, right? Like, what are the tell signs? That's where we're going. He has been driving down the road. It jumped, it stole the car in park. It jumped out the car. It took off. Be looking for him for hours, find him in some bushes hiding. When I tell y'all he got PTSD, that's what the hell I mean. BSB was on the ground with infantry as a corpsman. What that means is he had to save a Marine life while protecting his life. So can you imagine having to stop somebody from bleeding out at the same time you having to fire back at your enemy with your weapon? That's what BSB did every time he was in country. Damn right, he got some issue. But we could not hide that from our children. Matter of fact, that one time when he got out the car and took off, we couldn't find him for a few hours. He was in the bushes. The kids had to run after him. Y'all know I got short legs. But he got startled and scared and had a flashback. He didn't even know where the hell he was at. It's kind of crazy. But how do you live? Like, there's people out there, there's children being raised in those environments and they don't understand what's going on with the parent. They don't got a clue. Talk to them. You want them to talk to you about all of their deep, real stuff. Why you can't talk to them? Age appropriately. They closed the schools until Thursday because it's that darn cold here. Good Lord. Peacher said it affects the civilians as well that go over there to assist. Definitely a lot. Well, that's true too. And they damn sure come back a minute. Now, they don't look like there's levels to PTSD. Everybody's exposure over there is not the same. I ain't never, let me be real clear, 12 years active duty, I don't have a story like BSB stories. None. It is crazy to me that they send civilians over there unless they in Kuwait. Now, if you don't know, so a lot of civilians go to what's called Kuwait. Kuwait is like a no fight zone. That is like the safe space. There hasn't been any fighting in that one area over there. And if you look on a map of over there in the Middle East, you know, Kuwait is a small little, like a dot, child. It's like a little dot deal in the middle of all the other crazy, right? All the other countries. But as military, we train. Like, there's workups, there's all this stuff you go through, right? You train, but as civilians, I couldn't imagine being over there. Now, I ain't never been on the ground over there other than to visit and walk around because the ship pulled into the port and we got off the ship and went looked around. I ain't never been in the desert, y'all. I ain't been over there. I ain't been. I ain't been. Now, I have been in hazard duty zones, right? I have gotten hazard duty pay. However, I ain't never been in no fight over there ever. And ain't gonna. Like I told y'all, I worked with flight surgeons. I was an aerospace medical tech because I knew I did not want to do that. As a corpsman in the Navy, I knew I didn't want to go. But the civilians, I can only imagine what it must be like to go over there and see the crazy. And then it be expected to come back here, because as a civilian, that you just come back home. Once they done with you, they just send you home. That's kind of how they do the military. But when we come back, we go through, once we come back off of deployment, they do all of these workups, all of this stuff where they see you, they talk to you, they all this stuff, right? So, but I don't know if civilians have anything like that. I don't know. I have a friend that we was active duty, and when he got off active duty, he went back over there as a civilian, as a contracted worker. So he went back over there as a civilian, but he'd already been over there 100 times. He was a mechanic on a helicopter. He's a helicopter mechanic, as my friend do. And he will go, well, aviation, whatever. Anyway, he works on helicopters, child. I don't know which ones, but some of them. But he went back over there as a civilian. So the way he would talk to me about it is a little different than someone who is just a civilian and just got that job, that position for that short term. Because listen, they pay real good to go over there. They used to pay. They don't do it as much now. There ain't as many civilians going over there as it used to be, but those civilian contractors used to make good money over there. And the first 80,000 was tax-free as a civilian. So it's a lot of them going over there. And I know that they didn't see, like, they was, they get protected from a lot of stuff, but regardless of that, I couldn't imagine if I didn't have my military training just going over there in the midst of what it looks like over there in real life. It's kind of crazy. Right? Hello, JoJo King. Love say, yeah, my dad was lost, didn't know what to do with me, and about to be a teenager, but he never gave up. Some of it was my fault. You know what, love? I know that you've been through a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you something. Between your dad and your husband, you sure ended up with some amazing men. Not all of the men around you were amazing, but those two men were pretty amazing in your life. My husband is a lot like my dad in some ways. Oh, good morning, Purple. How you doing, friend? Good morning. Good morning. Hey, other April. How you doing? How you doing? Miss Peaches said, I could never. That's why I have so much respect for all military and the civilians that volunteer to go there. and my job sends them to more than just Kuwait. Oh yeah, they be civilians other places over there, but a lot there. That's where most of the civilians. Like I said, my friend who, when he got out, went back over there as a civilian, was not in Kuwait. But however, I do know ain't none of them civilians seeing fighting. Like they ain't on the front line, is what I was trying to say. The civilians ain't on the they like me, baby. We sitting in the safe bleachers. Like we not going out there looking for them. You know what I'm saying? The enemies, when we talk about them. It's a lot different. It's a lot different. It's a lot different when your job is to find the enemy and take them out. But it's only people who is active duty that's gonna do that type of work. Ain't no civilians doing that. So that's what I was saying in the difference is in the two. They ain't no civilians in infantry. They all got orders. They all active duty, or they wouldn't be there. But as a civilian, could you imagine just right now, as a civilian, just going to a war zone to have to work, to have to do your job? It's kind of crazy. However, most civilians that go over there volunteer to go. You sign up to go. But I wonder if they get, like, I don't know if the training is like the training we get going over there. I don't know. Hey, cuz. At Love, they are truly amazing. You are blessed. Oh, hell no, because my baby was one of them. What you mean? One of who? And oh, hell no, what? No and no, I know my boundaries. No and no what? You ain't gonna go over there? Is that what you know and knowing? But or you saying no and no that they don't give them any like counseling and that type of stuff when they before they send them and when they come back. What? No. Couldn't be on the front line. No. They wouldn't or volunteer. Oh, okay. You know I be talking, then I be coming back to comments. Sometimes I forget what I had said. Baby, I'm not doing it. I'm telling y'all, I knew that I wasn't doing it. There's certain things I'm not gonna do, and that's one of them. And yes, I would never go over there or volunteer. Yeah, no, I would listen. I know my friends, they used to, I told you I had you could go overseas and the first 80,000 you made the first year you were over there, or in a year, the first 80,000 you made in 12 months, you don't have to claim. You don't have to pay taxes on if you earned it. It's just over that. And there were people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they just weren't paying on the first 80. So there was people made a lick while that was an option to go over there. I don't even know if they'll let civilians go over there now. Like, I don't think a lot of those places we as Americans aren't even active in anymore. Like, we're not stationed over there. Like, there's not a base set up, those type of things. Then there's places where there's always a base, like Bahrain, different places like that. Like, there's, we can get where we need to go fast. However, ooh, Bahrain. Baby, that's a beautiful country. If you ever could go to Bahrain, if y'all can ever go to Bahrain, go. And Dubai. Dubai is another one that a lot of people get real excited about. I don't care about the new Dubai. I went to Dubai for the first time in 1999. That before they started shipping all the sand in and all the big buildings. You know how they show Dubai and they show like that front part, and then behind it you see all of the open market and all of that. That's the Dubai I know. The open markets and that. They didn't have all that bougie fancy stuff back then. So, but I don't care to go back either. You know, I don't care to. Facts. Lord of mercy. But I don't care to I don't there's but Bahrain, that's a beautiful country, y'all. If you can go over there. But okay, y'all. Well, thank y'all for joining me for Coffee and Kief with me. We'll be back tomorrow. Now, y'all know tomorrow is Wednesday. Wednesday is therapy day. So it will be afternoon before I get on live because I'm going to be at appointments. And Zane actually have 2 appointments. We have our CBT, and then we have he sees his orthopedic doctor tomorrow. He see her every 6 months because y'all know he toe walks. So we see her every 6 months to check his range of motion, make sure we're not losing it. We sitting at 0. We just want to keep it right there. And with his ankles. But I enjoyed y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Did y'all enjoy the live? Did y'all enjoy having a topic and like a focus? And yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to start answering the questions out of the email sent to Real Life with April. So if you want to send a question, if you will go, my link tree, it's on my Facebook and my YouTube, but you could go to my link tree. My email is there, and feel free to send me anything, even if it's just a topic. Maybe it's something you saw or something you think is interesting, or maybe you just want my damn opinion. I don't know. But make sure that you send me. I have a bunch to get us started, but it'll run out eventually. So y'all got to keep coming with them. Okay. And you don't want me thinking of topics. We be talking about mental health, and y'all know I'm going to talk about business. Real life stuff, because baby, my life has been full of real life experience. So that's what I talk about. Everything is important and valid. So, and Peaches, we appreciate Yummy and what she did for our country. Love, we appreciate your daddy and your husband and what they've done for our country. Very much. Love said, I always enjoy you. I always have a good time over here with y'all. We always have a good time, love. I love it when you come over, and I love chatting with you. Have a Lord. Peaches said, I'm going to send mine to Peaches because I'm too slow for the email thing. Or if you send it to Peaches, we'll talk about it on Unique Sisters unless it's specific to me for Real Life with April. But if you send it to Peaches, you might get 2 for 1, because you know Unique Sisters, we take questions. We take topics over on Unique Sisters as well. And our email is in Unique Sisters link tree, which is on our YouTube. If you want to send us something. Peach said, we appreciate you and BSB. Oh, thanks, sis. Thank all of you for your services. Yes, Lord. Oh, Peach said, if you send it to her, just send the payment. Love, send the payment. She don't work for free. She laughing. Look, she said, I don't work for free. Lord of mercy, Jesus. Y'all listen. We the same. We is the same, sis. But y'all have a great day. And remember that you don't just have to teach your children and show them how to clean, how to cook, how to make good grades, how to create study habits. You have to teach them how to communicate effectively, how they're feeling, what they're facing, and what they're going through. And what that requires is for you to tell them and be honest with them about yourself. What you give your children is what you're going to get back from your children every time. Now, when they get a little older, they may make you look at them with one eye and sideways, right? But baby, all of that you pouring into them coming back. But if you didn't even pour it into them as children and you have an expectation of them as an adult, it's unfair. So talk to them so that they know how to talk to you.